Hello and welcome to the Erin Cruz Show. We have a star-studded lineup tonight. I'm so excited. We had last week on with us one of the candidates for CAGOP chair. This week we have a candidate who is running to be the next CAGOP vice chair. This is really exciting for us here at the Erin Cruz Show because what we like to do, as everybody out there knows, is we'd like to connect candidates that are out here in California and even across the nation with you patriots and help you understand what's going on, not just in the party, but in politics as well, and also get you familiar with who's out there running for these different positions and who you might be able to expect representing you. So without further ado, I'm going to have all of you meet Corrin Rankin. She's running for the next CAGOP vice chair. Welcome to the Erin Cruz Show, Corrin.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So now you are on the road right now. That's why we have you on via telephone, right? This must be a busy
Yes,
time right
I'm
now.
sitting in traffic here in our capital in Sacramento.
Okay, wow, wow. Well, you're a brave woman just for that alone. But you also are a brave woman. You're running for an important position within the California Republican Party. Tell us a little bit about, for those who may not be familiar or not too involved on the party level, about the CAGOP vice chair position that you're running for.
Well, the position of vice chair is it's a traditional vice type of position. It's like
Mm-hmm.
a vice president. My duties will be to work with our next chair. Will be to be present and available when our chair is not.
Right,
This is actually the position of the CAGOP, the CRP vice chair. It's pretty unique because it gives you a lot of wiggle room to sort of branch out and pursue, these pet projects. The position, you could enter this position and you can show up to a couple board meetings a year and, call it a day and say, okay, I have a title. I went to the board meetings and, I cast my votes and then that's it. And you would, technically be within your realm of doing the job.
but I
However, with
heard,
me,
but I heard you in a recent talk say you're going to be a full time vice chair.
full time, yes, yes. So I am in a position in my life where I have the time and the resources to dedicate to volunteering to do this job full time. And we are at such a stage, and I'm sure I'm preaching to the choir with you, Erin, that we really need someone that's going to jump in there, roll up their sleeves, and get to work every single day.
Right,
Our party needs to unite, and in order to facilitate that, it's going to take the vice chair to be in constant communication and networking with all interested and all stakeholders in order to make that happen. Unity doesn't just happen because you say, "Oh, we should unite." It really
right.
takes a lot of work and a lot of communication.
Building relationships across the party
Exactly.
and what have you. Well, that's really exciting to hear you talk about unity because it is something that we need here in California. There are only, we've talked about this last week on the Aaron Cruz Show. If you didn't hear about how this election works for this particular type position, go ahead and look at that interview. We're not going to go over that here, that process, but folks, there are just under 2,000 people who make decisions for these types of things. And the rest of
Yes.
us here on the ground are relying on these people to make those decisions. And then also a few very key positions like this CAGOP vice chairmanship position to help lead the pack and bring unity. And I know that the people down here on the ground, the grassroots workers, the volunteers, they all want that unity. They just don't know how to make that
Yes.
happen, and they need leadership that will meet them in the middle and work with them to help get that done. So that's
Yes,
wonderful.
absolutely, absolutely, and that's something I'm really passionate about. I mean, I'm running on a platform to unite.
Mm-hmm.
We're passionate about growing our party because I understand, like many of us understand, that the success of our party and the future of our party really depends on our ability to grow.
It
We
does.
have to become a big, broad tent and outreach. Really I'm really invested into outreach within our party.
Right.
It's an important factor that has been overlooked in the past, and we really need to, as a party, start investing in outreach.
That's great to hear you say because our party, the numbers, if you just look at the Democrat Party, they're twice our size, and in fact we're the third ranking, so to speak, if you look at the no party preference number. So yes, and I believe that there are a lot of us out there. There's just no reason why our numbers should be so low, except for perhaps the message of unity, communicating with the outreach, and actually putting action into the growth factor. So that's wonderful to hear you talk about. So now, is that part of something that you're going to be looking at? Is our messaging, or what is your angle in
Absolutely.
terms of growth and outreach?
Well, so the growth and the outreach are sort of one and the same. Once we start with our outreach, then that's when the growth happens. So outreach is key. Our messaging is also key. We can change our message without changing our values.
Right,
So the
absolutely.
message, the way we've been delivering it it hasn't been working. So we can't keep doing the same thing and saying the same thing with the same messengers and expecting a different result. So
That's
another
called
thing
insanity.
that goes it's the definition of insanity.
Right, right, absolutely.
So
Go on.
changing, tailoring the message, and also the messenger. Our party really needs a lot of different messengers, to deliver our message. We need a lot of new messengers, and it will be me, and it will be a variety of messengers. I mean, California is a, you know, changing demographics, changing our population has changed, and it's time for the CRP to adapt to the changes.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And it is important also, I think, to get younger people involved, and also
Absolutely.
reinvigorate, breathe life into the party. Politics isn't for the snuffy toughy. It's, I always like to say, if you don't like politics, trust me, politics loves you and it loves your wallet. So you best get involved and get things on the right track, or otherwise, But in any case, yes, I think that we really need to breathe that life and fresh breath of air into the party. And that's why I was so glad
Absolutely.
to see that you're running. You have so much passion and drive for the people.
I do. I have a lot of passion, a lot of drive, and more than that, I have the time that I can dedicate to doing this. I'm a former bail bondsman, and so and I use the word former because with legislation that happened recently, the governor last year signed legislation that ended the bail bond industry.
Horrible,
So
horrible.
I come from a place where I understand how important our legislators are in the Capitol, and our assembly members and our senators, and I understand the importance of growing our elected officials that are lawmakers in the Capitol, because when I was there fighting for my livelihood, they were the ones that were, that had our back, that were saying, "You're a small business owner. We have your back.
Right.
We understand, and we're here for you." So we really do need more of that, and I'm really passionate about that as well.
So tell me a little bit, you kind of touched on it just right here. My next question was going to be, tell us a little bit about your background. Like you just mentioned, you're a small business owner, you're bail bondsman, bail bonds person,
Former,
former.
yes.
Tell us a little bit about that. What brought you to this space right here in politics?
So about 3 to 5 years ago, the Democratic Party added to their platform bail reform, which means get rid of the bail bond industry. So I was a I was just a regular member of our statewide association, and I saw that our statewide association just was not equipped to handle the battle that was coming down. So
Wow.
I jumped on the board. I ran for board, and I was they nominated me for a board member, and I quickly moved up the ladder to become chair of the board. And then I organized our legislative effort. So I developed a legislative committee. I chaired that committee, and then we had a lawsuit that happened in San Francisco. So I organized a legal committee. I chaired the legal committee, and I oversaw all of our legal efforts. Um, and I was also the spokesperson for the association. So I really was the architect of the whole, fight to save our livelihoods that happened in recent years.
Right.
And unfortunately, we did not have enough votes at the Capitol, and all of the Republicans, voted in our favor, but as we know, there just aren't enough of them for our efforts to have been successful in that venue. So, these are some of the skills that I have. I have done this before. I've worked with our bail organization to unite because we were bail bonds agents. We were fierce competitors, and so it's often very hard to get along with your competitors. But I was able to facilitate that by just, working hard, being in constant communication with people, really navigating through personalities, and to make that happen, to get us all on one page and going forward for one single mission.
Right.
I've also been, I'm a founding member for my local sheriff's activities league. I was a board member for the police activities league. I was on the Rotary. I've been a member of Chamber of Commerce and Legislative Committee. I've been a vice chair for my local San Mateo County Central Committee. So I come with a sort of broad experience in organizational leadership.
That's
And
wonderful.
so this is, yeah, this and being the vice chair will really it requires someone with a lot of knowledge and experience in organizational leadership. I know organizational leadership is not, sexy, and it's not, the most fun thing in the world, but I know how to do it, and I know how to do it well, and I'm ready to do it for our party because we need to. We have to succeed.
Right. Well, this is really important to talk about, and like you said, so some of the jobs that are out there, some of the things that need to be done volunteer-wise, they are not sexy. They are mundane, but they need to get done, and they need to be done, or we will continue to fail, and that can't be what goes down here. One of the things that I've heard out there on Twitterverse, Twitter moves very, very quickly, and even on Facebook, and I've seen it over and over and over again, is California can't win. Californians can't win. We just don't have enough people in the legislature. It's like, well, how do you change that? We have to start square one. We need to be able to unify, and do all of these things that you're talking about. We have to grow the party, and it is mundane, but folks out there want it. They just don't know how to do it, and they don't know how to get involved. What we talk about every day here on the Erin Cruz Show is helping people connect with their local parties, their local groups, their local affiliated clubs, whatever that might be for them in their area. And one of those things is the Republican Party. And some of these people say to us very clearly, they don't sugarcoat it for coming to us. They come to us with the real problems. And they say to me, well, they're not doing anything for us. Well, you know what? You are the Republican Party, folks, and you have the ability to take action. You just really need to get involved and be the change. You need to be like Corrin Rankin. Get involved in your local parties. Get involved. Get involved. Get involved. Get involved. And I'm so glad to hear, Corrin, that you're running. You are getting involved and you're wanting to help that growth because you are the solution to some of the issues that I'm hearing out there today from Republicans. And there are solutions out there. So many of them, thousands of them, millions of them, really, if you want to think about it. But we have to get people in these offices that want to encourage that growth.
Absolutely.
So
it's the most important thing.
right. So regardless of who ends up being CAGOP chair, should you become CAGOP vice chair, we really look forward to seeing you push for that growth. Historically, we have seen a decline.
I will be. I'm. It's true what people you've heard about bail bondsmen. We're tough people. I'm not.
You're a straight shooter.
Or straight shooter.
You're a straight shooter, and not the bad guy kind of way.
I'm ready to dig my heels in. I'm going to dig in and get things done.
Well, we're glad to hear that. We're glad to hear that. And I'd like for you, just in like 1 or 2 minutes, please, if you could just talk to the people here at the Erin Cruz Show, and do a little mini recap. And I want them to hear from you without me interrupting. So go ahead and talk to the people.
Well, my name's Corrin Rankin, and I'm running for the position of Vice Chair for the California Republican Party. I am a former bail bondsman. I am no longer have a business because the California Democratic Party decided that they wanted to eliminate my line of work. Right now, I have the time and the resources to dedicate to being a full-time Vice Chair for the California Republican Party. I'm running on a platform to do 3 things, and that is to unite, rebuild, and grow our party. In addition to the usual requirements of fundraising and being available when our chair is not and supporting our chair, I will be actively investing my time and resources into outreach so that we can together grow our party.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, Corrin, we are here anytime for you on the Erin Cruz Show. We would love to hear back from you. You're doing the good work, and it's a hard work, but it's a good work, and we're just so grateful.
Well, hard work pays off, right?
It does. It does. I'll tell you that in spades.
Great rewards.
Yes, it does.
Have to be focused on.
Absolutely. Well, thank you again for coming on the Erin Cruz Show. Drive safe out there.
All right. Thank you for having me. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
To hear more and to learn more on how you can make an impact or about the Erin Cruz Show, visit us online at erincruz.com. That's ERINCRUZ.com.